as we're mainly over the center of low pressure here that is traversing across much of the Midwest. And because of that, won't see those strong winds later on today or tomorrow, but we will see that warm air creep on into northwest Wisconsin. Temperatures likely reaching the 70s for some parts of the region today, and then that shower chances increase over north central and northeast Minnesota on the colder side of that warm front there. This system will start to make its way over Iowa and into northern Wisconsin by Thursday, and yes, that is a little bit of pink wintry mix and even some snow showing up on the northwest side of this low pressure system as it makes its way past us on Halloween. So yeah, could even see the first wintry mix of the season here, but before that, very mild out there today and mainly just cloudy out there with some shower chances north and west of Duluth. Could even see a shower into Duluth. It's about a 30% chance, but the majority of rain stays north and west along the international border into northern St. Louis County out towards Lake and Cook County. Now, Wednesday morning, we're looking at that more widespread chance of rain and could even see some thunderstorms develop along and embedded within that city of precip through Wednesday till about 10-11 a.m. Then those thunderstorm chances move off south and east of Duluth out towards northern Wisconsin for our Wednesday. Bit of a lull in precipitation Wednesday afternoon and evening time. And then by Thursday morning, we're looking at another batch of rain making its way into the Twin Ports and points south and east. And that is where we have that chance we're seeing a little bit of snow or wintry mix. I'll have more on that in a second, but we do need this rain. We are in severe drought for most of the region and expecting about an inch or an inch and a half of rain into and south and east of Duluth. Lighter amounts as you go further north and west. That's where you're only expecting closer to a half an inch of rain. Now for our temperature today, very mild out there. We're looking near 60 into Duluth and then 70s possible in northwest Wisconsin. Tomorrow morning starting out at 50 in Duluth, but then temperatures fall throughout the day. We'll see them down to the 40s by the afternoon. Then on Thursday morning, starting out in those low to mid 30s, that's where we have the potential for seeing a little bit of snow mixing on in there with that rain, especially into northwest Wisconsin before we clear on out just in time for trick-or-treating. Now today, not expecting any wintry mix. 62 degrees, 65 down in Hinckley, 64 in Washburn, and yes, 76 degrees, our warmest high temperature out there in Spooner. 7-day forecast, we're looking at that rain snow mix possible on Thursday, and we clear on out on Friday and into Saturday before our next chance of rain arrives next week.